more congestion.
And going this direction, and you should have a little bit of a clearer ride. You can get our first look at the driver, just see a hand. Must be the right hand on the driver's wheel. Oh, that looks like a really quick move. The steering wheel there. And looks like there's a passenger in the car. Giovanna, that looks like there might be some legs on the driver's side. It's tough to see from this angle.
Hard to see.
I think that is the passenger side.
Very dark tinting on those windows. So
yeah, you can see the driver's head moving there, and that is someone in the passenger seat. So we have now at least 2 people in this vehicle. We cannot see into the rear of the vehicle, and this happens to be one of the longer stretches on the 10 before you hit any major intersections. Interchanges. The 5771 interchange will be the next, but that is sometime in the Montclair area right now. But it's not going to take long. Traveling at 100 miles an hour on this freeway with really open roadway largely ahead of you, this is not going to be too long before we're talking about what the plans are, what this driver is going to do. Again, we're still awaiting word on what the want is, why authorities are chasing this vehicle, whether there was something happening that this car was wanted for, or whether it was something that they were doing while driving that began this pursuit. But it looks like someone in the driver's seat. I'm trying to see if those are fingernails or if that's something. Oh, that's
something that's hanging.
That's hanging from it's the air freshener. Okay,
yeah,
so
but I do see
a pair of legs.
Yes, that is right. And he's still traveling, what, 100 miles an hour? Some cars are passing them, though, probably.
Yeah, it got stuck behind a truck.
To avoid the situation, I'm sure drivers are hearing the lights and sirens and seeing the lights and sirens. If you're out there on the road, you want to get out of the way of a pursuit like this.
Yeah, obviously a driver who wants to get away is putting other drivers at risk and the pursuing officers as well. Anytime you're talking about speeds like this, 90 miles an hour back into the HOV lanes, possibly swinging over, just driving on the paint right now. There is a lot of risk, and especially these really fast movements there, these fast twitch maneuvers to get around vehicles. That is when catastrophe can strike. When you're sailing at this speed and any kind of quick change puts the vehicle at risk, and it's not very stable at that speed, 94, 95 miles an hour, weaving in and out of the HOV lanes. We don't know where this person is headed. We do know wherever they are going fast, putting a lot of people at a lot of risk.
And Joy, we are hearing that authorities did try at least twice to deploy spike strips, and they just were not successful. So likely they might try again. We know a pit maneuver is another method that authorities will also try to stop a pursuit. Pit maneuvers, though, are generally only used at lower speeds, under 35, 40 miles an hour. So that obviously would not be a tactic to use here. He's still flying.
Okay, we're now getting word that this person is wanted on a felony warrant, a felony warrant with a history of possessing weapons. Is that right, Carolina? Okay, so a history of possessing weapons. So that adds another wrinkle into this. More danger for the pursuing officers. You don't know if there is now a weapon in this vehicle. Apparently, the suspect has a history of weapon possession. We don't exactly know what that means exactly at this point. But again, I mean, at this speed, the vehicle itself could be considered a weapon because it is just so dangerous.
Right, but that piece of information we just received, history of possessing weapons, they have to assume that he might be armed and dangerous at this point,
right?
With the felony warrant. And we don't know what the felony was.
Right, wanted for carrying firearms, felony warrant, that's via California Highway Patrol. So again, ratcheting up the danger another level. This vehicle now in the right-hand lane, driving onto the paint in the shoulder on the right-hand lane, 10 westbound by Via Verde. So we're now in the East San Gabriel Valley, getting off, looks like, here in the exit lane. We'll see if this is a pass-through, and you can stay on the freeway. It's dipping down below the freeway, and we'll see if they emerge there at the bottom of the intersection or whether they just keep on going. That speed, I think they're getting right back on. The CHP vehicle is cruising, and they're going to get right back on the freeway. So Southern California has a lot of these exits where you can get off the freeway and you have the option of getting onto side streets or just pass right through and get right back on, and that's what happened here. So now veering across all lanes of traffic, dangerously again, swinging back across 2 more lanes, 3 more lanes back into the right-hand lane. If we could pop out and just get a little wider shot at the maneuvers that this guy is doing. Now in the right-hand lane, and now going to go onto the shoulder to get around this vehicle. You don't know if there's a parked vehicle, debris, just again, adding more danger to this, Giovanna, in what already is a very dangerous situation.
Absolutely, and it does look like units are keeping a safe distance back. That is standard protocol, especially when a suspect is driving this dangerously, this fast. Again, the silver lining here is that the roads are clear.
Right, largely, and you can see how far our camera has to pan forward to get back into contact with this vehicle. It's just going so fast, it escapes even the view of the camera so quickly. We just took a look back at the CHP vehicles in pursuit, and then to relocate this vehicle again, it had really traveled some distance just in those few seconds. And so we are still pushing 100 miles an hour. We're at 94, going down to 92 now. Again, another exit ramp. We'll see at Grand Avenue, Garvey Avenue, or Grand. This one does not look like a pass-through, so a decision is going to have to be made now. Getting off the freeway, circling around, perhaps they will do a U-turn and get right back on, but they are going to get around these vehicles, and that's exactly what they're going to do. U-turn back onto the freeway. And this is an opportunity for CHP, should they be in position and find themselves wanting to do this, to be able to try and pull some kind of maneuver at these lower speeds. In a maneuver like this, they were unable to do so this time.
Unfortunately. And just to recap, this driver is wanted for felony warrant for carrying firearms, and we have just confirmed that authorities say they are in fact armed in this vehicle.
Believed to be armed.
Yeah.
So again, going to cross over all lanes of traffic, it looks like, or try and squeak through. Yep, there we go. And then you see this white Mini at the top of the screen. Vehicles don't know what's going on, so they're getting on the freeway and off the freeway. People are just driving down the road right now and not aware that this is happening, and they're coming at speed. And so you have a car veering across all lanes of traffic like we're seeing him do again here. Going to go back to the HOV lane to get around these vehicles. You have vehicles already in transit that are unaware this is happening and could pose a really big risk.
Absolutely, and we've seen it happen before, accidents on freeways and side streets with these, suspects just not paying attention. They're just focused on getting away, making the roads very unsafe for other commuters and even pedestrians. We've seen close calls with pedestrians on the roadways as well. Again, a live developing situation, and we want to be careful about sharing too much information because we have very little information, but we do know that this driver is wanted for being armed and for a felony warrant for carrying firearms.
Yeah, now at Azusa Avenue on the 10 westbound, approaching the 57 interchange at some point soon. We're just trying to gauge exactly where this driver is as they head west. This was at one point out on the 15 freeway. That's where we heard notes that they were traveling 100 miles an hour, and that has not stopped. 107, 108 miles an hour right now, crossing over into the HOV lanes and making these maneuvers at exceedingly high speeds, 106, 105 miles per hour in the HOV lane, and you catch someone at the wrong moment, and when you make those fast maneuvers, we could be looking at catastrophe here, veering across several lanes again. And you can see the struggle just at this speed, to get across those lanes. They have to kind of regain their composure and start driving straight again. Now onto the number 4 lane, and again, onto the paint. It is not easy to pull these maneuvers off, and this person is not doing it very well, not surprisingly, driving at these speeds.
The CHP tailing this suspect, and we do know that they've already tried two times to deploy spike strips. Those efforts failed, and spike strips, he has exited the freeway there. Did you catch which exit that was? Is that Garvey?
Garvey Avenue and Sunset Avenue.
Okay, so he made a right on Garvey, and now is he turning on Sunset? We're not quite sure, but now he's going into a residential area, which could pose other risks.
You can see the Jersey wall right there. It looks like the exit ramp. And we see some CHP vehicles exiting right on the other side of that Jersey wall. So here we go. This is Garvey Avenue near Walnut Haven Drive. And again, I don't know if we can get the speed up on this, but
in East San Gabriel Valley,
way too fast for a road like this. 60 miles an hour down this side road with houses and potentially pedestrians right there on that roadway. So Garvey Avenue. And now curving around, Garvey Avenue does curve around right there in the East San Gabriel Valley, and we're going to come upon, is this Lockhart? And another, are they going to
Vincent Avenue?
Yeah, Vincent Avenue. The way this has gone, you would think they're going to look for another entrance back onto a freeway, perhaps heading back out west. If there's one thing we have learned.
That's what he's, no.
Yeah,
no.
you're right,
yes,
getting right back on it. I believe this is once again westbound. I think we're once again westbound on the 10 freeway. We see a lot of people drive in the same areas. They'll loop around into areas that they know, they're familiar with. And I was wondering whether they're going to head back east again, but we are once again, and this is going eastbound? No, we're going west, right?
We're trying to get confirmation. Yes,
yeah, this is westbound. Okay,
it is westbound.
We are going to have to dip out just for a couple seconds as we come up to our 3 o'clock newscast. We will continue to stream here. We will also be live on air on ABC7 in just about 15 seconds. So we're going to pause our broadcast here just for a moment and come right back on streaming and live on ABC7. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
We begin with breaking news here at 3 o'clock. I'm Giovanna Latta along with Jory Rand, and we're following this pursuit. We've been following it for a few minutes now, and this is happening in the East San Gabriel Valley. These are live pictures from Air 7. You see that blue vehicle there. The driver in that car is wanted for a felony warrant, and authorities tell us they do believe that he and perhaps the other person in the car, we do know that 2 people are in that vehicle, may be armed.
Driving on the wrong side of the road there. This is on West Covina Parkway, just passing Service Avenue. So we are now south of the freeway. This person has been driving 100 miles an hour plus all the way from the 15 freeway to West Covina and now plowing through intersections at 65 miles an hour as other drivers are forced to duck out of the way. Going to lose sight here under this
large tree.
Yeah, the tree coverage. And we're going to come up here on California Avenue, trying to make a decision and going to go right through that intersection. You can see the shadow there of I believe it's the LA County Sheriffs who are following this from above. The airship that is, I believe that's, it's either CHP on the ground for sure.
CHP was following them on the freeway. We are assuming that they continue to follow them on the roadway here.
So now making a right onto Vincent Avenue. So we're traveling on Vincent Avenue, going to hit Glendora, and we'll see what they do here, going right through this intersection.
And this started, we picked it up when the driver was on the 15 freeway. From the 15, it made its way onto the eastbound 210. It was on the 210 for a while. Then it jumped onto the westbound 10 freeway. It has exited the freeway a couple of times and into residential areas, as it's doing now. This is its second U-turn of the day, and you see those patrol vehicles, the units are following closely behind.
Yeah, another U-turn on Glendora Avenue, now coming back the other direction. I believe this was now traveling southbound on Glendora. I'm just gonna have to get my bearings and pulling off here whether this is Vincent Avenue. So getting back onto, I believe Vincent just came off that. Let's see if our map can update it. Glendora Avenue and Valinda, and a busy intersection, going to make a right turn onto, and bailing out. There goes the passenger.
The passenger just bailed out.
And it doesn't look like they were looking to get away, just kind of sat down. And the driver continues on. So a foot bail of a passenger. We don't know if there's anybody in the back seat, but that just happened. And when the driver, this pursuit is not over, continuing on at excessive speeds as that passenger just got out of the ground, seemed to stumble a little bit on the ground. And we couldn't have a direct view because of the tree, but may have just given up. If they hadn't given up, it didn't look like they were getting far.
No, they weren't. There were units right there on the sidewalk. I counted 3 or 4 units. So
yeah, I don't know how mobile that person was either.
Right, but we you know, it's safe to assume one of those units stopped to apprehend that passenger. And again, we believe that the suspect in this blue vehicle is armed, and he is wanted for a felony warrant for carrying firearms.
Yeah, finally got it. Southbound on Valinda here, just past Vine, now coming up on Merced. That's another major avenue. The next one will be Francisquito Avenue. So continuing south through the turn lane here, and this driver has gone on the wrong side of the road. We're now approaching Florence Avenue. Next one will be Francisquito, a major intersection. That should be coming up right about here. This is Francisquito and going to make a right turn onto Francisquito. So now going westbound on Francisquito. This is just a simple neighborhood, people going about their lives, and now this is being interrupted by this pursuit, which continues on now in the eastern San Gabriel Valley. Westbound on Francisquito Avenue, next intersection will be Walnut. So there should be a light coming up right about here. And anytime, Giovanna, we talk about an intersection, that is where some real danger comes into play. If someone's willing to blow through a red light, there could be pedestrians, there could be vehicles, and now making a left turn.
Blowing through a stop sign there. Driving at dangerously high speeds. You said 107, 108. At times he's gone down to the 80s, but driving very, very, very fast. We do have some video of the pursuit earlier in the day when he was, there he goes, crossing against traffic. A little bit of a close call there. But here on the right, you see he exited the freeway and made an immediate U-turn. You see the units following him, and he jumped right back onto the freeway. Southbound
on Walnut across Maple Grove, again, several times into oncoming traffic to get around vehicles. This person wants to get away. They are pulling off some dangerous maneuvers. And here it looks like the roads are a little bit smaller. Intersections are not as major as they were in other parts. It's going to be a while before they, I think, come to another traffic light as they go southbound now. It says on Echelon. I'm not sure. Yep, it has now turned from Walnut into Echelon Avenue. So southbound on Echelon passing Blackwood.
And Jory, it looks like we're getting new information that the CHP and whatever other agency is following along at this point are going to call off the ground troops, perhaps because this suspect is driving so very fast and dangerously, and they will have the police helicopter follow.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. It's going to dead end here, I believe, at Glen Hope. Yeah, Glen Hope. So right onto, it's actually to the left, it's Glen Hope. To the right, it's Lukelton Street. So Lukelton Street, and that's understandable. I mean, someone who's driving like this, there are so many different ways someone can get catastrophically hurt. If you're talking about a major accident, if you're talking about a pedestrian, if you're talking about just someone in their front yard, should things go wrong. So this is a dead end. We'll see what this person does, whether they try and go through. Nope. And we're going to make another U-turn. This would have been a good opportunity. It's unfortunate that they have called this off like they did, because this would have been a perfect opportunity.
There's a unit right there.
What did they decide to do? Okay, back right onto, close call with a CHP vehicle, and back into this intersection. So now a left onto, I believe that should be Glen Hope.
Was that a sheriff's helicopter?
Echelon. Yeah, back onto Echelon. So is that going northbound, passing Amar? Yep, okay, Echelon and Amar. So going northbound, we're going to make a left onto Amar. That would be westbound now on Amar Road. So just passing several vehicles. And was that something out the window, or are we looking in? That's inside the car.
No, we're looking in.
Something caught the sunlight, and it looked like it was being held out outside of the window. But this now going on Amar Road, weaving again in and out of traffic, just so dangerous.
Sure is. Again, police helicopter now following this vehicle from the air. We believe that some of the ground troops were being pulled off. But again, this driver speeding across, residential areas and the highways. We've seen him go as fast as 108 miles an hour, maybe even more, for some time now, and wanted for a felony warrant.
Yeah, I believe this is Hacienda Boulevard, making a left and southbound onto Hacienda. So if we're looking to get to another freeway, he is now right in the middle of the valley, or the West Puente, La Puente, heading southbound in the city of La Puente. You'd have to travel quite a distance down Hacienda Boulevard to get to a freeway. Perhaps that's what they're doing, into the city of industry. We just don't know. And who knows if this driver even knows what they're doing at this point, just kind of driving around doing whatever they can to get away, or whether there is some kind of plan here. Again, just about 5 minutes ago, a passenger in the front seat got out, bailed from the car. We believe they were taken into custody, though we are working to confirm that. And then again, running into some traffic here at a traffic light at Temple Avenue. So now a right onto Temple from Hacienda. So that's going towards the neighborhood of Bassett, Avocado Heights. Westbound kind of travels northwest on Temple Avenue. And again, we don't know what this person is doing, where they're going, if they have a plan, or whether they're just making random turns. But everywhere they go, they are putting people at risk because of the way they are driving, crossing over there into a turn lane. We'll see if they turn or are just going to blow this intersection. Another close call, making a left turn here onto Unruh Avenue off of Temple. So now going southbound on Unruh.
Yeah, and we're getting better information on the strategy that police are engaging in. The ground units have been told to stay far behind, likely because of the speed. So they're not pulling them off completely. The helicopter is following from the air, but ground units are still in pursuit, but from a farther distance. We do have someone on the line.
Yeah, who?
We have Bruce Thomas on the line joining us. Bruce, have you been watching, and what are your thoughts on this suspect?
Well, obviously, it's a very dangerous pursuit, driving on the wrong side of the road, passing vehicles on the left, and, definitely endangering everybody's safety.
Yeah, when you talk about someone going 100 miles an hour on a freeway for upwards of a half hour, 45 minutes, Bruce, can we talk about some of the complications, especially when they pull off maneuvers as quickly as they were veering in and out of lanes?
Yeah, anytime you have someone going at that excess speed over 100 miles an hour, it's basically a couple of 1,000-pound missile reaction times, not only for the suspects, but also for the other people involved. Yeah. They can't get out of the way quick enough.
Yeah, now backing up from this intersection over some of those barriers, what are they going to do? They're trapped in this little lane here with a vehicle at a stoplight.
This is La Puente now.
In La Puente, going to go through this intersection across the railroad tracks and make a right onto California, onto Valley Boulevard. So we're now going, I believe, northbound on Valley. Yeah, passing 8th Street.
And Bruce, we understand that they've tried twice to deploy spike strips. Those efforts didn't work for them. What do you think that they can still try to deploy a spike strip? What conditions are the best for that sort of maneuver?
To deploy a spike strip, it does take some tactical coordination, meaning the suspect is driving around in the same area. There's some rhyme or reason to what they're doing so that the officers can then get ahead of the suspect vehicle and then deploy it. But it's a hit-and-miss tool.
Yeah, now turned onto 7th Avenue, passing Proctor Avenue.
And what do you make, Bruce, of the fact that the passenger bailed out and there were some units very nearby? Is it safe to say that they stopped to talk to that passenger? And could that be one of the reasons why the ground units were told to stay a safe distance away?
Yeah, there could be a couple reasons. That could be one. The second thing, too, is they're going to scoop up that passenger and gain information about the driver, what they're doing, who they are, so that maybe they can apprehend them later on. But the biggest thing is, you have a wanted felony suspect. And so they're not going to give this pursuit up, especially if they're armed and considered dangerous, like we've been told.
Yeah, now on Don Julian Avenue in eastern San Gabriel Valley. I believe this is still La Puente. We are pretty close to the 60 freeway going down Don Julian, which puts them into the Avocado Heights neighborhood here. It looks like this is a much more populated area. You see some of those bigger buildings, warehouses or stores. But the speeds look like they have come back down a little bit into control, although they continue to drive on the wrong side of the road. Like it looks like they're looking to do right here, coming up on this vehicle at 5th Avenue and crossing right over. But again, there's with a vehicle in front and an itchy driver, you don't know how they're going to handle the situation. You have cars coming in the other direction, whether this guy's going to drive on the wrong side of the road. It looks like they are trying to do that. You know, they're kind of peeking around this vehicle to see when they can get around them. Even, we believe, with no pursuing CHP or law enforcement officers, there they go. Wrong side of the road in a school zone and just racking up the crimes as they go back onto the right side of the road down Don Julian Road here.
George, did we ascertain what kind of vehicle this was?
It's a Nissan. I thought Juke at first, but I'm not sure if it is a Juke. It's a Kicks. It's a Nissan Kicks. So I don't think it's a ton of power.
It's lighter in weight than other vehicles. So if they have the opportunity and can get upon this vehicle, a pit maneuver might be a good idea.
Yeah. So passing Workman Mill. Here goes a spike strip.
Oh, there's a spike strip right there.
And they avoided it other side of the road.
Yeah, they sure did.
Okay, so a left onto Workman Mill Road, I believe. Now going southbound on Workman Mill Road. Again, if they continue to go south, they should be able to get back on the 60 freeway, which while not ideal in any situation like this,
Right.
keeps at least the prospect of pedestrians getting struck out of it.
And Bruce, what would you tell people who might find themselves on the road in the middle of a pursuit like this? It's hard to tell that it's even happening until you might hear the lights and sirens, or you might see, the units fly past you after another vehicle. What is your best advice for people on the road?
Well, obviously, get out of the way, stand your ground, meaning let the problem go by you, either left or right, but don't, if you see it coming, don't try to cut it off. Don't do quick lane changes. Just stand your ground. Let the problem go by you.
Mm.
So in a moment, going down Workman Mill Road, this is not an entry onto the 60 freeway. It's going to go beneath the freeway in just a moment. It's going to go over a waterway. It could be the LA River. I'm not sure that far south whether that would be. So the bridge here, you can see the overpass, and then they should go under the 60 freeway right about here. And if they take this around, there are some ways to get on the freeway. It's just going to take some maneuvering through that light there. And there is the 60 freeway. So we're going to go beneath the 60 freeway. Again, there are some hospital facilities here. There's a branch of the LA Regional Food Bank that they're going to wind up passing if they continue down here. And that moment right there, on the shoulder beneath the freeway, we have seen several instances, Bruce, of cars driving beneath the freeway, having another vehicle or someone waiting for them. So they go under the underpass, they don't emerge, another vehicle emerges, but no one knows to follow that car. And we've seen that play out several times within the last year. Whether that could come into play here is another story.
Yeah, it seems like the suspects have gotten a little more savvy to it and are maybe conversing with friendlies to say, hey, meet me at so-and-so, and I'll pull up and then we'll switch vehicles, or I'll get in your vehicle. So, yeah, to your point, we have seen that.
So now on Pelissier Place, this is now paralleling the 60 freeway, which you see on the right on the bottom of your screen. Very close to a freeway, but you can't get access here without a couple more turns. If they come up on Peck Road, they could make a right onto Peck, or there might be an entrance shortly. Let's see if this is it. Is this the entrance back onto the freeway?
Does look like it. Yes, it is.
Okay, so now we are going northbound on the 605, back onto a freeway. We can take the risk of a pedestrian being struck out of the equation here, back onto a freeway, but then you introduce, Bruce, once again, if we're talking about 100 miles an hour, a whole other list of risks that we could see to drivers on this roadway.
Yeah, when you're doing those speeds, it just becomes such a problem for law enforcement, just for the safety of everybody involved, including the suspect. And people say, why do we care about that? Well, we care about everybody.
Yeah, so we're just getting some numbers on this kind of vehicle. It gets 28 miles per gallon. It's got a 12-gallon tank. I'm sure that the mileage is much worse when you're traveling at that speed. You're going to burn off fuel at a much higher rate. Got back onto the 60 freeway. So there was a ramp from the 605 that you can just take as soon as you get on off Peck Road. So now it looks like back on the 60 eastbound, heading back east from the direction that this driver first came, although minus one occupant of the vehicle from when they first made their way this way westbound, because that passenger got out foot bailed. And speed at this point does not seem to be like a dangerous factor. We don't believe there are any pursuing ground vehicles, although the airship is still overhead watching where this driver is going.
And Bruce, you probably don't have the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it because are we the pursuit capital of the country?
The world.
Or the world? It feels like we have pursuits so often here, and no way to prevent them.
I would say that's probably a safe guess. However, our pursuits are mild considering some of the other pursuits that I have watched throughout the nation where you have 12, 14 law enforcement cars involved, and these people are just driving crazy. So ours are pretty tame, but to your question, I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah. The way that the city is set up with the freeway system, you'd think the traffic would prohibit it more than it does.
It's still
but
early.
It's wide open, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know if we can get into the mindset of the criminal activity that kind of leads someone to do this. Very rarely do they get away. It does happen occasionally, but it's very rare that someone is able to fully escape from a pursuit like this. and we'll
Yes,
see what happens at the end of
We will
this.
see some pursuit suspects drive into a heavily populated area. For example, downtown Los Angeles.
Right.
Just within this last month, we saw someone sort of disappear into the structures and the parking lot, I guess the underground parking lots. And then it's hard to track those people down. And then what do authorities do at that point, Bruce?
You know, at that point, it becomes a containment where you have enough officers there that you can contain all four sides of the structure of the area that you're looking for the suspects in. And it's just it's like a game of mouse. We just control the area and we search it tactically.
How much does it help now having a passenger from this vehicle in custody to let's just say this driver is somehow able to escape without being apprehended now. The fact that you have someone that was in the vehicle with them in custody, that has to, I'd say, almost always lead to some kind of identity and apprehension, right?
Well, it helps law enforcement a lot because they can gain information about the suspects, about the suspects, who they are, where they live, and then they can do a workup on them to find out what other criminal charges they possibly have a history for.
Yeah.
It looks like traffic is slowing here now on the eastbound 60. Is he in the carpool lane?
Not yet. Looks like it's going to cross over.
Double yellow.
Yeah, one more. But is not driving with the urgency that we saw earlier. We're still seeing a lot of maneuvering between lanes, but we are certainly not seeing speeds, whether that's a factor of the traffic on the road or the fact that there's no one pursuing him on the ground. He doesn't feel the urgency to get away the same way that they did earlier today, just an hour ago since we've been aware of this. 45 miles an hour in the HOV lane on the 60 eastbound is just a commute. This is just basically what everybody else is doing, but you see continuing to cross over lanes, which is a little irregular.
Yeah, his driving behavior has definitely been, he's way more moderate at this point,
Right.
Maybe due to the slower traffic, but we saw him speed by other cars on other freeways and in the residential areas, so maybe that's not a factor. We don't know what's going on. Maybe he's on the phone. Again, all speculation.
Yeah.
Not sure, but we have been following this on the air for about a half hour now. And this suspect is wanted for a felony possessing weapons. Authorities say that they believe he is armed, and this is why Bruce said they will likely not stop following him because of the fact that he is armed. And we did see a passenger bail from the vehicle a little bit ago. This video to your right is the moment that he exited the freeway, made a U-turn, and you see the CHP units following closely behind.
That was on the
210 freeway. We heard about this pursuit when it was on the 15 freeway.
Right, that was more than an hour ago now. We first were notified of this about 2:15, which is an hour and 5 or 6 minutes ago, going from the 15 to the 210 westbound at 100 miles an hour, through the Cajon Pass at 100 miles an hour, passing the 15 freeway near 90 miles an hour. And when we picked this up from Air 7, we saw speeds well above 100 miles an hour and consistently above 90. I mean, this guy rarely, there you see on the right, 107, 105, pushing excessive speeds here, so dangerous. And to make it worse, was pulling off rapid lane changes just with the flick of his hands. This wasn't a carefully executed maneuver through lanes. This was quick, it was dangerous, and you could see some struggles controlling the vehicle. Several spike strip attempts here. Look on the right side of your screen. Mm-hmm. This is where the passenger gets out. It looks like they just lay down on the ground. Mm-hmm. Whether they wanted to run away, the movement of the vehicle, that person...
He slowed down for him to exit.
Yeah, it might be a woman who just again, I don't know if she laid down to give up or whether the speed, the motion of the car caused her to fall, but that lead unit stays with the driver. So watch this lead unit of the CHP ignore the passenger. It looks like
then you see
the second unit, right?
Second unit,
right.
The
Officers
officer
getting out.
Exits
so that person is in custody.
And Bruce, you were in law enforcement for so long. Any insight you can share on the mindset of folks who lead officers on a pursuit like this? Once they're caught, what do detectives learn from these suspects?
Having talked to hundreds of suspects involved in pursuits, there's no rhyme or reason. They just want to get away, or they want their 15 minutes of fame. excuse me, and basically they believe that they're going to get away. The problem is you're not going to outrun the radio. You're not going to outrun the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an old saying: no one ever accused criminals of being smart, and it is put on display every day. And this is yet another example. So this continues on the 60 eastbound. The top of our tracker says carpool lane, but they are now in the number 2 lane, number 1 lane.
Now in Roland Heights.
Okay, so 60 eastbound going back towards the 15. The next major interchange, again, will be where it merges with the 57 for a short time. And we'll see if they head all the way back from whence they came. If they make it all the way back to the 15 freeway and wherever they were, that's where we know this began, or at least where we first heard about it. It looks like they have re-engaged now. Now that speeds are a little lower, California Highway Patrol has picked this back up, and they are now directly behind this vehicle on the 60 freeway.
And the car is now picking up as well. Now, he keeps going up and down, but he was almost hit 90 miles an hour right there. Now you can see that he is aware that they're on his tail, and now he's changing lanes again, and maybe he's thinking about exiting here.
Yeah, so this driver's made it through side streets, through La Puente, eastern San Gabriel Valley, from the 10 freeway down to the 60 freeway, and now going back eastbound. Again, veering through traffic, weaving in and out of lanes and wending their way eastbound. So speeds are going to have to be slower simply because of the volume of cars, and a really close call could have clipped that vehicle right there. Again, as these drivers are surpassed by this suspect, they don't know they're part of a pursuit. And so you just think it's another driver on the road who's just driving impolitely, to put it kindly. And then once they go by, like in a situation like that where you nearly get clipped by a driver, you see 3 or 4 CHP officers going by, and you quickly realize what's happening here. Mm-hmm. This isn't just another driver on the road. This is part of a pursuit, and these people suddenly realize the thing that they see on TV all the time is now passing them by.
It is very common. It is very common here in Southern California.
And you hear people talking about it when they see one coming through their neighborhood or they pass one on the freeway. They say something along the lines of it's just like it seems on TV. We watch these all the time, and now this one is passing me by.
So in the carpool
this one
lane,
seems to be a little safer now.
Yeah, in the carpool lane on the 60 eastbound, going relative, mild speeds, 68, 70 miles an hour.
Pretty typical.
Yeah, pretty typical here. Curious why he has slowed down, although thankful that he has. Makes it a little less dangerous on the freeways. Now he's getting out of the carpool lane. Maybe it was that vehicle in front of him that was making him slow down.
Yeah, and you saw that truck in the right lane have to slam on their brakes because it looked like this guy was going to veer across all lanes of traffic, and that truck was driving faster than the rest of the flow of traffic. So just again, weaving in and out of different lanes, and the number 1, see if they head, or the number 2 heading back over to the HOV lane, just trying to find any pocket of open space that they can find with no disregard for anybody else on the road. Here is one of those attempted spike strips. It looks like a CHP officer tried to do that. The driver was well beyond. Wrong side of the road. That's when the driver was going into oncoming traffic to get around cars, and in that instance, to avoid a spike strip.
And that was the 3rd spike strip that they attempted.
They're not easy. They're not easy, especially when you're dealing with a driver who's willing to go put themselves at risk and drive on the wrong side of the road. And so it's a prediction of where the driver is going to be when you can get the spike strip out in time to be able to deploy it effectively. Right side of your screen, you see some of these speeds. That is going to down to 100 miles an hour, but now kind of crawling along, 30 miles an hour on the 60 freeway, a CHP cruiser right behind a canine unit too. So we'll see if they are able to get this driver pulled over. There are some canines which we see deployed in situations like this if someone is unwilling to comply, to get out of their vehicle, and perhaps getting off the freeway. Yes.
It looks like he is exiting here.
Lemon Avenue.
Lemon Avenue.
So this could split either way. We'll see what this driver does. And there's a straight lane that could get right back onto the freeway, right across Lemon and right back onto the freeway. So we're sticking on the 60 freeway eastbound here at Lemon Avenue.
Again, if you happen to just be joining us, we're following a pursuit underway. This is in the East San Gabriel Valley. Not sure if we're still in the Rowland Heights area that we were in a little bit ago. He's traveled some miles now. 327, we picked this up a little more than an hour ago on the air for the last 45 minutes or so, watching this driver in the blue vehicle, a suspect for felony warrant and believed to be armed. Watching him drive at dangerously high speeds, past 100 miles an hour at times, driving against traffic, making illegal U-turns, several close calls with other vehicles, and now you see him continue on the eastbound 60.
Okay, we're getting some word now that from the CHP that this driver might be in communication with family on the phone, and is looking to make their way back home. Plans to turn themselves in if they can make it back to their house on the phone, I think with their father is what I heard. So talking on the phone now, trying to get back home where they plan to turn themselves in. This brings back some wild memories of what happened. I mean, everyone, the most famous car pursuit in LA history was O.J. Simpson trying to make his way back home where he said he was going to see his family and turn himself back in. Mm-hmm. Shades of that. This person just wants to get back home. Why they wouldn't just give themselves up now and make this a lot easier,
on the right,
we don't know. Yeah,
on the right video of the passenger that was in that vehicle that bailed out, it does look like it might be a female there. But that person, we believe, authorities picked up and has been talking to, and that would make sense that a family member would be on the phone because his behavior on the road has changed significantly. He's not speeding like he was before. He has slowed down, and perhaps he's on the phone, you know, hashing out the details, and hopefully he follows his father's advice. We don't know where home is now, passing the 57 interchange. And as we approach 3:30, our live coverage of this breaking news continues on our ABC7 streaming channel. You can watch live on our website, on your phone, on your connected TV, anywhere you stream ABC7 Los Angeles. Here on TV, we're going to turn things over to David Mura for World News Tonight. But again, we will continue streaming coverage of this pursuit on the now 57 freeway, and we will continue on streaming coverage. Stay with us. All right, we're back to following this pursuit underway in the East San Gabriel Valley. The driver there in the blue vehicle now on the northbound 57 freeway, units still trailing him. And the last piece of information, if you missed it, is that we believe, authorities tell us, that there's a family member on the phone with the driver. The driver wanted for felony warrant for possessing weapons and believed to be armed. But again, speaking to a family member on the phone, and they are, we understand, negotiating a surrender, perhaps at the suspect's home or maybe the home of the family members. We're not sure where home is, as Jory mentioned, but we do know that this pursuit, we first got word of it along the 15 freeway, so it may be east of here. Yeah, we always talk about those last brief moments of freedom before you know you are going to spend some time in custody. Bruce, do we still have Bruce Thomas on the line?
Yeah, I'm with you, Jory. Yeah.
Okay, Bruce, let's talk about these moments. People in this situation know that they're going to be in custody rather soon. The mindset of someone in these last moments of freedom, why they would want to get home maybe instead of giving up, just pulling over and giving yourself up.
You know, this creates a whole other problem for law enforcement, because if they let this person go back to their house, wherever this originated from, now he is going to have to surrender to law enforcement. And how many friendlies are there who may intercede in this arrest? So it becomes a whole tactical operation for law enforcement if that were to transpire.
Yeah, would there? I'm guessing there would be work to figure out the address of where this person lives, so you can have some law enforcement waiting there at the time.
Yeah, definitely. They would definitely want law enforcement there. You'd have multiple units there. One, to control the family, to control the crime scene, to control the crowd that's going to gather in this event. Like you said with the O.J. Simpson thing, it became a spectacle. And could that happen in a residential area where the suspect lives. It's all possible.
Yeah. All signs are good that he may actually be doing what his family is asking him to do. We are getting word that he has indicated he is going home and will turn himself in. So that is some good news. Hopefully he can get home without anyone else getting hurt or any other close calls.
And that would track with the behavior we're seeing from just the driving, going westbound, hitting speeds of 100 miles an hour, clearly trying to get away from California Highway Patrol. Now we're talking about eastbound on the 60, 70 miles an hour, not exactly following the rules of the road. Another close call there, but we are not seeing the 100 miles per hour that we were seeing just an hour ago when we began our broadcast. And so while that is a positive, there is still some risk there. As Bruce mentioned, there are the unknowns of what is going to happen when they get to the house. Who's going to be there? What control does law enforcement have over the scene when that happens? And if this person wants to see their father or their family member there, how is that going to happen? How will that play out as law enforcement tries to take him into custody?
Are you going to have last minute? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
Bruce. Are you
Bruce.
going to have last minute hugs, last minute goodbyes, and are the family going to go along with the program? Meaning, they're not going to change their minds.
Right.
Right. You hope that that's the case. But assuming all of this was perhaps triggered by that passenger exiting the vehicle and talking to authorities, do you believe that that's how it likely played out?
Yeah, I would hope so. Maybe the passenger said, hey, I don't want to play anymore. Pull the car over, let me out. And then once that passenger got out and law enforcement scooped up him or her to gain information so they know where the suspect lives. And if family members are talking to law enforcement, they have the address, they have the person's name, and now they're doing what they call an informational workup on the person to find out everything they can about them.
So 60 eastbound approaching the 71 freeway. If history is any guide, that there's the interchange right there. Just going to continue on the 60 eastbound because this began way out east, and it looks like they are headed back to the point where this may have begun. There are several chances to exit the freeway. We're still waiting to find out where home is for this driver. It's been indicated that they are trying to make it back to their home before they turn themselves in and surrender to authorities. Still kind of driving wildly. You don't know the emotional state of someone in this position, ready to give themselves up. I don't know about willingly at this point. It may happen willingly, but I'm sure they're not happy about it after trying to evade capture for so long and so dangerously, but still driving a little beyond the parameters of the law and now boxed in by a couple trucks.
And Jory, we have joining us on the line now with the CHP, Christian Stevens. Can you hear us, Officer Stevens, and can you shed some light on this pursuit?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. This pursuit started quite a while ago. It's been quite a lengthy one. And as it progresses, we ask that everybody, when you see the emergency lights and sirens come in, you move to the right. Don't make any sudden evasive maneuvers. And if the pursuit comes to an end up in front of you, or we always ask that you stay back at least 300 feet.
Okay, can you give any background about basically what's happening right now? We've gotten word that this person wants to make it home and surrender with family there. Are you able to comment on the plan moving forward?
If that's the plan, I would imagine that we would continue to pursue and follow them until they get to wherever they're trying to go.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about the spike strip efforts and the challenges of trying to stop a pursuit suspect?
Spike strips are an amazing tool. They don't always work, but some of the challenges with spike strips is making sure that our officers aren't in a position of disadvantage, somewhere that they can still try to end the pursuit safely while not putting themselves at unnecessary risk.
And do you have any details on this particular pursuit and this suspect and what he's wanted for and what triggered the pursuit?
I don't have any details. All I know is that there is potentially a warrant for arrest.
Okay, can we talk about a little bit about what goes into following someone who's willing to drive 105, 107 miles an hour on a freeway, and then the decision to back off? What goes into that call to pull pursuing officers off of this pursuit?
There's a lot of factors that go in, but our primary objective is for the safety of not only the public, but for the driver that is driving and for our officers. So if we see that something has become too unsafe for us, that may be one of the reasons that officers decide to back off a little bit.
Is that a group call, or is there someone watching who makes the call that that lead vehicle needs to pull off?
Anybody in the pursuit can make that call. I mean, we are all safety officers at all times, and like I said, our first and primary goal is the safety of everybody.
Does that change at all when you have a suspect who is wanted for a felony and you know is armed?
Our primary goal is still safety. However, that just might we might pursue much longer, depending on what the want is for.
Yeah. At one point, there was a passenger in this vehicle. That person got out, and I believe is now in custody. We didn't see it officially, but I don't think there was any way for them to get away. Is that? We saw the lead vehicle in the pursuit stay with the vehicle. Is that kind of protocol where you leave the arrest, the apprehension to a passenger to the vehicles behind you, and the lead officer stays with the pursuit?
I mean, every pursuit is different.
Sure.
But depending on how many other units are in the area, you may have somebody close by that is already able to apprehend that second suspect to try to gain some more information.
And then the concern of the weapon, I think for the officers, obviously. How does that change how you would approach it? Does it change anything, or do you have to assume every vehicle in this situation has the risk of having a weapon inside?
That's correct. There's always a risk of a potential weapon, which is why we train so hard and focus on both officer safety and the safety of the public.
And so we understand, and I think Jory mentioned this, that this driver has been in contact with a family member. We understand his father, perhaps, and that he's on his way home to surrender peacefully to police. What sorts of things is the CHP looking for, or other law enforcement agency involved, for that sort of surrender? Would they be at the home first? Would they speak to the family? Would they have units there? These are things I'm assuming happen, but can you walk us through it?
I mean, yeah, just kind of everything you mentioned. We may be able to get units there before they do. That is definitely a possibility. But we would always ask whoever's in contact with them to tell them to peacefully surrender as soon as possible.
Okay. Christian Stevens with the California Highway Patrol, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us and kind of guiding us through what is happening here. Before we go, is there anything else on this pursuit that you'd like to add that we haven't touched on?
Just everyone stay safe and yield to the lights and sirens.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Good advice.
Yeah. Okay, so a nice little update, some information on how they are handling a pursuit like this in this situation. He wasn't able to comment one way or another whether the plan is to make it to this driver's home, but that is what we believe is happening. Still not driving according to the law, now on the shoulder of the 60 freeway, and this says westbound. I don't believe that is accurate, right?
We might be coming up to a split, a junction where he can.
Yeah, we're coming up on Mountain Avenue,
freeway,
so
but
still
it does
going
look like
eastbound.
this is,
Yeah, there we go. Switch
eastbound
back
60.
over eastbound.
Yeah.
So we're at Mountain Avenue. The next exit opportunity will be the 83, which is Euclid. So Euclid Avenue, but we don't know where this driver is going now, firmly stuck in traffic. So
and you see the units right behind
creeping
him.
in. Is this going to happen right here on the freeway? No, the driver continues on.
An additional motorcycle unit there.
Right, so back onto the shoulder to get around this, the rest of the traffic. This is a Tuesday, the beginning of rush hour, heading eastbound out of town. You typically see a lot of volume on basically every freeway, the 210, the 10, the 60, everything going east. You'll see a lot of volume. You might get up to some speed at times, and you're going to see it slow down, as we have seen with this driver. You are not allowed to drive on the shoulder as this driver is doing, and You're not supposed to be allowed to weave in and out of traffic as this driver is doing, but on the long list of crimes that have already been committed on this day, these are at the bottom of the list because a lot of people have been put in danger. So again, we're waiting to see where is home for this driver. What will be the exit they take, or are we going all the way out? Next big opportunity to get off the freeway will be at the 15, and whether we see them go back up north through the Cajon Pass, that's where we know this began.
And Bruce Thomas, assuming you're still with us, a question for you. Are law enforcement, CHP in this case, keeping track of every time he's breaking, traffic laws here?
It's a great question, and people have asked that before, other anchors also, and friends of mine. Yes, they are. They have Information Bureau or media relations who record the news, record events like this. And what they will do, even though they're misdemeanor or traffic violations, they will go back, re-rack the tape, and every time he did something, crossing in and out of the carpool lane, using the carpool lane, running stop signs, cutting people off, they pile on the charges to where the point this person may never have a license again.
Yeah, and some of those can be charged as more than a moving violation. If you put other people at risk, then you have assault with a deadly weapon. And again, it seems like the urgency might be ratcheting back up a little bit. It seems like the speed might be picking up, a lot more weaving back onto the right shoulder for a time. And you might have caught that sign a moment ago. We are very close to the Ontario airport. So there was a sign for Ontario airport satellite parking. It doesn't look like Air 7 is in the airspace, but just another thought here as they pass Ontario that the airport is not too far. These are the exits you would take to go to that airport. So they're approaching the 15 freeway. It looks like a couple miles, maybe 5 miles out.
He's gesturing his hands now, gesturing outside of the window. Not sure.
Showing no weapon, perhaps? Is this going to come to an end here?
Maybe he's going to stop, maybe.
Yeah, you wonder
We're just going to have to watch.
If fuel might be an issue. We talked about the gas mileage on the car, and
yes.
this has been going for a long time. So you have a hand out the window.
Looks like
both
he's
hands
showing
out
both
the window.
hands.
Oh, so it looks like she might be doing it.
She,
We're not
yes.
sure who the driver is, but again, both hands
looks like
out the window. And is this how it's going to come to an end on the side of the 60 freeway?
I mean, it seems like she was about to take her seatbelt off.
Yeah, we don't know. This
We don't
driver
know.
Now on the shoulder.
But driving very slowly, as if the driver is planning to stop.
Right, here you see a California CHP motorcycle to block off traffic from the on-ramp.
Blocking traffic on the right.
Yeah, so just crawling now. I don't know, again, is this person out of gas? No, they still have fuel to get over to the side of the road. Best case scenario right now, this person stops right here.
It looks like.
Which they have done, put the car in park, hands out, and it looks like it's going to come to an end right here. Side of the 60 freeway, and both hands out of the window. We'll see if they comply and get out of the car. You can see her, yeah, she's showing her hair, maybe perhaps trying to identify herself or themselves.
We're just getting word that from the CHP that the driver might be hard of hearing.
Okay.
That might make communication a little more difficult.
If that is the case, they are doing the right thing. You want both your hands in full sight of these officers. It looks like the rear window has been lowered. They can see inside, but these officers now standing, guns drawn, behind their doors, waiting for this person to get out of the vehicle. This is now more than an hour and a half. This person has led authorities on a pursuit, at times topping 105 miles an hour, putting a lot of people at risk, and this is how it's coming to an end, and you want it to come to an end peacefully. It's just all up to the driver right now, whether they're able to do that.
And Bruce, if you're still with us, what commands are they telling her?
Well, they're asking her, the driver, and possibly sole occupant, keep your hands in plain sight. We take the keys, toss the keys out the window onto the pavement.
Now opening the door.
And then we will ask you to step out.
Yeah, we saw the canine units ready to go. We saw the top of the vehicles had canine in it, and this driver is now getting out, hands up in the air.
Walking backwards.
Phone on top of the car, yeah. Yeah, you can't reach for your waist like that. It looked like they were trying to show they didn't have anything in their pockets, but you do not want to reach for anywhere on your waist, pockets, pants.
We've seen this happen many times where they ask the suspects to walk backwards, and maybe the next command will be that she lay on the pavement. we've seen that in the past as well.
Yeah, this appears as if it's going to come to a peaceful end. It is, you can imagine, even if you're in the situation, hard to stare down the barrel of a gun and that officer is saying point face that way, and now get down on their knees and hands behind their back, and this will be code 4 momentarily. Risk is over. It looks like you see that officer still training their vehicle on the weapon on the car.
Because they don't know who else is in there,
yes.
if anyone else is in there.
But this is now over. Driver now in custody, being led to the back of a CHP cruiser as 2 officers approach in formation just to make sure there's no one inside. And we believe that it is clear, gun in the window, and it looks like that is it.
We're going to stay on this until they make sure that no one is in the vehicle. And it looks like they've done
code
that.
4. You
Now
see
they're
the 4
giving,
fingers
yeah.
in the air to the
Yeah.
airship, and now this is over. Okay. So,
Bruce Thomas, thank you so much.
I was going to say, as a footnote, what we have seen are a lot of mental health issues with some of these suspects.
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay.
Thanks again for your insight.
Okay, we want to thank you for joining us for this extra streaming coverage of a pursuit that has now come to a peaceful end. Fortunately, it looks like no one was injured. I don't believe any vehicles were damaged in the process. And so that's how you want to see these things come to an end. It's unfortunate this had to happen, but a relatively successful ending for California Highway Patrol.
And if we get any updates, we'll bring that to you on Eyewitness News at 4, just about 15 minutes away.
We'll see you then.
This has been breaking news on Eyewitness News. Get alerted first to breaking news happening around you. Download the ABC7 Eyewitness News.